Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Brandbeard Gaming. Hi Slivers, how you doing? I am TJ Firebeard, and as always, I am joined with my good friend right over there, Yasmin Bleeth.
Wasn't that just Yasmin Bleed last week?
No, I don't know.
That
Lavender
was.
Goons?
No, it was Yasmin Bleed for your birthday stream.
Oh, that's right, you were. MC Clap Your Hands?
With a Z. That was one of our first ones.
I know. It's almost like things have happened shenanigan-wise that I didn't have time to collect myself and come up with some kind of silly psych one, so I'm just going with the ones that I know off the top of my head.
Right.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good. It's been a day, but it's been fine. Last night I was doing dishes and my my sink just decided to collapse out
Just
from
collapse.
underneath my computer. Not from my computer, but from underneath the counter.
Yeah.
And so, come to find out, I wish I had sent you the picture. You can post it. It's being held up by two really shoddy 2x4s. So I don't know if
Yeah, that's how
if Trent's here.
Oh yeah, because you live in the same buildings.
We do. We live in the same style building, but
So he needs to check his sink for 2x4s.
Yeah, well, then I watched two maintenance guys argue about what was the best way to put up the sink. So, how's your day? I'm gonna talk to our guest.
Oh yeah, sure. My day's been pretty good. Squish wasn't feeling good yesterday, but she's feeling better today. Got back to school. I think it was just allergies or the weather turned a little bit here, so it was like 65. So I actually got to go outside and I went for a real nice run today and I wasn't freezing my butt off. It was the first 8+ mile run I've gotten to do in the new year, and it was great. Felt so good.
Nice.
I was gonna go for a bike ride, and then I was like, crap, I haven't done anything to prep for a bike ride. Like nothing's charged. There's no air in my tires. There's probably not grease on my chains. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go run. And then 8 miles later, I was ready to go. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Congratulations.
it felt good. I'm sore.
I am. We're in the middle of a heat wave. So it was like 65. And so I was able to take. Yeah, so I was able to take Bug outside to the playground for the last 2 days and get her to run around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds great. I couldn't believe that. I mean, I can't believe that you're essentially the same temperature as us.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice.
I mean, I was gonna say that's what it was here today. I mean, that's crazy, especially when probably next week you'll have like 20 feet of snow.
Yeah, probably. There's a good chance that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's in the 60s there. Panic. Yeah. Did you tell the maintenance people that your sink had to be sturdy enough to support a desktop computer and 2 monitors?
Was that Adam?
No, that was Slivers.
That was Slivers. Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't have my chat up. Yes. Although it is a desktop computer and one 27-inch TV from 2011 because that's my monitor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your monitor is quite the bulky one.
I was waiting for an adjective.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going with it. I didn't know where I was going to go with it, but I figured it out. I was like, how could I describe his monitor? I've seen his setup, and it's like, how do I describe it as not janky as hell? But it's also janky as hell. But it works.
Yeah. It does work.
It works most of the time. Unless Discord explodes.
Fingers crossed it doesn't. Fingers crossed it doesn't.
Most means cut corners on sync computer setup.
I mean, you should have seen them argue about it today. Because the first one was like, "Oh yeah, those clips are terrible. We just use 2x4s." And the other guy, maintenance guy, didn't hear this part of the conversation. So later he was like, "I don't know who came up with this 2x4 idea, but whoever did needs to be slapped." And I was like, "Oh, great." And I'm just over here just like texting TJ like this
Yeah.
is just
It was amazing. He messaged me and like he's like, all right, I'm listening to two maintenance guys fighting about 2x4s. This is amazing.
it was great. I loved it.
What
I loved every second of it.
what did we come up with for 2x4 Geddon?
2x4 Geddon.
Yeah, what was the end resolution? Do we have a sync?
Yeah, I guess think they just they screwed a 1x4 into a 2x4 because the 2x4 wasn't wide enough, and then they screwed that in. then they then they screwed that into my particle board cabinets.
So what you're saying is a dance party on your sink tonight.
It's real easy when like to wash dishes when the sink's just like right around your ankles.
It'll make giving Bug a shower real easy. Just set her in it on the floor and just over her head.
It's great.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. Let's we do have a guest.
We do. We do have a guest tonight.
We do have a guest. It's not Bug who's trying
It's
to
not Bug.
like,
Bug does not want to come on the show.
No.
She's unhappy about it. Even the prospect. But we do have a guest tonight, and I don't know how to do this elegantly because nothing is set up for the guest. So,
act like we've been there. That's all I can say.
All right, so
I guess I can add him as a friend on TTS, and then I can invite him to this room.
Do you do that? We'll talk a little bit. Yeah, you add him, get him on Steam, all that stuff. Get that ready because I've got to kind of think about how I'm going to do this because the moment he joins Discord, it's going to break everything and it's going to look super professional. Everybody.
That's what's new. It's us.
Yeah, what's new? What's new? We're gonna hold it together with 2x4s. 1x4 and some screws and some particle board. Wait, was the sink a euphemism for us? I think the sink's a euphemism for us.
I don't know if it's a euphemism. Is it an analogy or a metaphor? It's a metaphor.
Right? Metaphor? Euphemism?
Metaphor.
Euphophore? I don't think that's a thing.
There's multiple Undead Vikings on Steam.
See if he can give you his friend code.
Let's just get in. Let's just chat with him. Allegory, that's a good one.
Allegory?
That's a word.
How's it going, Lauren? Welcome in, buddy. How are you doing? Yeah. All right. Well, everyone prepare. It's gonna be great. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and pull Lance right on in, and everything's gonna break. So enjoy that.
Nothing has changed since the first time Lance was on when we didn't even know what we were doing.
All right, there's
hello.
Lance.
So I can't see your game you're playing, gentlemen.
We are. I found out that there are multiple Undead Vikings on Steam.
Well, I'm the real one.
You're the real Slim Shady?
Yeah, no. So the funny thing is that I remember when I like took the name and I made it up or whatever. That's a story and a half. But I remember like at the very beginning there was the only other Undead Viking that I knew of was a really bad, and you can still find them, was a really, really bad heavy metal band based in Florida called Undead Viking Mafia.
Okay.
You can find them on YouTube still. They're not good, but
they're not good.
I mean, I like a lot of heavy metal, but
they were not good.
No, and apparently they had their core fans, so good for them.
Good for them.
I don't know if they're still together or if they're doing anything still, but yeah, there you go. It is really weird though. Like if I log into like a new thing, you know, like the name Undead Vikings almost taken all the time now.
I'm sure.
I as you can see on, or you can't, Lance, but as other people see, I always use R Bramblet for everything. And so my wife one time stole the real R. Bramblett because once we got married, she has the same initials. So on one of her social media, she is the real.
I think
R.
I
Bramblett.
just saw a picture of you on the Facebooks with her.
You did.
Yeah, you, like a lot of us, totally outkicked your coverage there, buddy. Just letting you know.
Very much so.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a punt return for a TD on that one. Just
despite how much I've tried to fumble it over the years.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. I generally think that there's a secret group somewhere where they like, okay, well, this guy is going to keep pestering all of us. So, shortest straw, let's go.
Someone's gonna fall on that one.
Yeah. Shortest straw, let's go here.
All right, so I'm sending Lance a code just to be my friend. And then
Is this like through Steam or what? I mean, because
Yeah,
I'm in Tabletop Simulator right now. I'm asking you for like the server name and stuff. But I mean,
I think we've got it set to invite only.
why do you make it so difficult?
Because
I mean,
normally I'm the one who makes everything difficult, but this one was on TJ.
This one was on me. I don't know if I will go with this one was on me. Also, I don't know if your video is supposed to be on, Lance, or
do you want my video on or off?
I mean, if you've got video, sure. I'm sure people would love to see your face. Oh God, turn it off.
Nice.
Turn it back off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Myxter.
Yes.
Oh, look at that!
I know, right?
With the correct usage of the vowel version of Y.
Season 1 champion of Listicuffs, the show we
and now retired. So one and done.
Yeah. Could be the only successful run of Listicuffs, as it were.
Yeah, well, I'll take it. You know, I'll take a. I was happy to grind my opponents into the dust. I have to admit, I'm a little sad that I didn't go 1-on-1 against Jeremy, but
we thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, we were.
To be honest.
Yeah, that was the thought that was a real possitournament, but Jeremy fumbled some things.
There were a lot of dream matchups through the tournament because I also wanted to see David and Rob go at it, but you also faced Rob and humiliated him. So
yeah, what happened there? He was just like he didn't even buy my standard. I'd like to thank Rob for not showing up.
He might as well have not.
I always keep thinking of that clip of Christina showing up in the baby mask at the end.
The creepy baby mask, yeah.
Are you JJ Spaceman?
Am I JJ
what just
Spaceman?
happened? Who's JJ?
I don't know. Somebody JJ Spaceman has a friend request for me in Steam, and I just accepted
JJ
it.
Spaceman.
Oh, great!
No,
I'm just some like complete rando. Like, no, he's probably a really sweet, nice and awesome dude. So.
Sweet guy who's sniping the Lance friend invite.
So did you send me a friend invite or what? I'm looking at my Steam. I'm like,
oh no, I sent on Facebook. I sent you in our group message. I sent you a link to be my friend.
I think he's trying to make it easier and is not at all making it easier.
If anyone wants to draw a JJ Spaceman, we will replace we will replace Beardy with JJ Spaceman.
I don't see anything on the Facebook message from you.
Did it not send? What is happening?
I mean,
nope. I don't know who you sent it to because I don't have it either.
If this is Lance and TJ, sending it again.
Man.
Pro streamers, folks.
How much harder can you make this? Buckle in, panic.
Yeah,
it's about to get harder.
Go back Ragnarocks, everybody.
Go back Ragnarok. We're gonna put our heads down on the table and cry.
Here we go. I sent it directly to you. I think it showed up.
Oh, let's go here. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this thing.
We thought with an abstract strategy game from the creator of Santorini. You can play a lot of games quickly. How are we going to fill a lot of time? By not being prepared, folks.
Now we
Not
go.
being prepared.
Let's see. Okay, we are now friends.
All right.
So,
Okay.
and I have Tabletop Simulator up. So,
Right.
do I need to reconnect or?
No, you should be able to just get an invite. It'll make a weird bloopy noise, and you'll get the invite, as it were.
Inviting friends.
But how are you, Lance? While we're doing this, how are you doing?
I'm tired.
Tired.
No, I mean there's been a lot of stuff going on. Organizing fulfillment, handling, tracking down and locating packages for people that stuff like that. Running getting the Ragnarocks campaign all squared away, and I mean, thankfully this has been a pretty, as far as Kickstarter campaigns have gone, this one's been pretty slick. The people are really excited about it. We got like 2,300 backers, I think, now. So a lot of people are really positive. They're really, I've been playing the game a lot with Gordon Hamilton, the designer, and doing streams, and that's a lot of fun. He's such a math genius that his mind just works on it. I mean, I've only beaten him once in like 14 games, and that's not. I feel like I'm a good game player, and like he just crushes me like every single time. So it's just so I mean, that's been fun. And that's like a little bit of braggadocio, I understand, but I mean, like, you play like when you play after you play 2,000 games or 3,000 games of like separate each individual games over the course of the last 14-15 years, I feel like I'm pretty good at this stuff at this point. But then every once in a while you run into somebody that's just like, especially if there's a game that's just right in their wheelhouse, especially if the designer of said game, right? So I guess I fought him to a draw once, and I beat him once, and we played like 16 times. So he just he gave me a praise today for a game that I lost. He basically doubled my score. He said, you did a really good job. You made me actually pause and think before I took actions a few times that time. And I was just like, thank you, Gordon.
Yeah.
I still don't have an invite. I don't know what your goal is here. I've been eating up dead air here.
It says you're not on Steam. That's why I can't invite you.
What? I'm logged into Steam right now. I'm in Tabletop Simulator that I've launched through Steam. You know what?
Right. Here, I'll fix it. I'll just make one that you can just join.
TJ's fixing it.
I'll just fix it.
I mean, why wouldn't you just, that's why they have passwords. That's why pencils have erasers, as they say.
All right, so the server name is going to be Brambeard Gaming.
God, I'm not going to be able to get in.
And the password's going to be Brambeard Gaming. No one sniped the
Nobody, now everybody's going to know. They're going to come in and ruin it for everybody. Join.
It wouldn't be the first time we've had somebody randomly join and make things awkward for everyone.
That's real true.
How's it going?
That was a weird night of Among Us.
That was a weird night of Among Us.
My son came downstairs. He's like, I think they launched the new map. I was like, I assure you they haven't launched the new map. He so wants to play. I mean, so my son is 9, and like he loves like secret trader stuff. He just loves that, and so like Among Us really just hits his wheelhouse. But like he came up, I was so proud of him. He was just like, I came up with a way, because there's 4 of us live in the house. I came up with a way for us to be able to play werewolf as a family. And I was like, there's no way you can play with 4 people. And what he figured out is that he said, you hand out the things to each other. It's very quick, but he said, you hand out the cards to everybody. There's 1 werewolf, 3 villagers. And then in the, basically in the center of we all sit on the floor, and then he puts 2 Nerf guns with darts in them in the center of in the middle, and so you look at your card, everybody shuts their eyes, and everybody has to wait, and you can't open your eyes until somebody has to reach for it very quietly, pick up the dart gun and shoot somebody, and then put the dart gun back down. And then everybody opens their eyes, and the person who gets shot said, I got shot. And then the 3 people then argue over which one's the werewolf and which one isn't, and it is. Oh, I mean, and as the person who gets shot, the person who gets shot doesn't even know. They have no clue, and they can't say anything, because they're dead. And it was just like, and we played that for like 3 hours one weekend. It was just like, it was like, this is ingenious. I was so proud of him. So there you go. That is the official Caleb Myxter Nerf Dart Gun 4-player werewolf variant.
I feel like you could play that with normal werewolf. It doesn't even have to be the 4-player one. Just a bunch of Nerf guns.
And trust me, like, it's so scary. Like, when you're the person that's waiting to see if you're, and like when you're like, I'm not the werewolf, and you're just like this.
You're like, oh God, it's coming. I know it's going to happen, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hit me in my forehead.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so good because it's a Nerf gun, so it isn't going to like hurt, but you're still, it's like, it's not pleasant.
No, it's
like,
also, your eyes are closed, so it's startling. I think that would be the most the most unnerving thing. Is just like you're waiting for that pop, and it just hits you in your face.
Oh, and then if you're not the one to get shot, you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh God.
It's like werewolf. It's like werewolf catching guns.
Oh yeah. Except with Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to have that action of like somebody knows that I thought it was a lot of fun. Anyway,
that's great.
Hey, look, it's Ragnarocks. I don't know. Can people see this? Can they see what we're looking at?
They can now.
Okay. You want me to teach this to you? I mean, it takes like 5 seconds to teach. Well, actually, more like 5 minutes. But yeah, it's very easy to teach.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So very quick. I'm sure you guys know how to play. But this stuff over here is for the solo mode. Don't worry about it. But you can do this to make your I can't hit it because I'm an observer. But if somebody clicks on it, click on that. You can turn, click on the button. No, not the button, the white thing. Ooh, look, you made them rainbow colored.
It's like, what are you talking about, Lance?
So the solo mode, basically, you roll this die, and then that'll tell you which one of these AI Vikings you get to move. So that's all that is. So just don't worry about that. It's no big deal.
I should say that because you're a spectator, we can't see your hand. Your little floaty hand. That's why I was confused as what you wanted me to hit.
Well, so give me promote me if you can, because then I can take the like moderator role or something. Right click on Undead Viking. Red. No, just right click on me and promote me. There you go. Promoted. And then I think I can. No, I can't.
No, you have to have a seat. Fine. Just move Richmond to gray. Lance to red.
There we go. All right. Very good. Okay, so here we go. So I'll teach you guys how to play. All right. So basically, this is a game where each person is going to have 3 Vikings on their team. Sometimes you'll have less, depending upon mythology powers. We'll talk about mythology powers that are over here in just a little bit. The way the game works is, first of all, the person that is on this side of the board, which is usually going to be the ivory colored player, will go first. They always go first because they are on the short side of the board. They don't have as much room to move around. They will go first, and let me just swivel around here so I can actually see from this vantage point. On your turn, what you do is these are the base rules. Mythology powers will mess with these base rules in some way, shape. You select one of your Vikings, and you move it as far as you want, or as little as you want, to wherever you like. And it could be, but you have to follow one of the designations of the hex that you're on. So I couldn't move it. I couldn't move it like to here because I'm not moving in a straight line to get to that spot. But once you move and you drop your Viking, then you select one of these Runestones, and the same rules apply. You get to place it somewhere on the board. And then you, once again, following a straight line, you can put it as far away from you as you possibly can, or as close as you possibly can. Movements will be blocked, and placements of Runestones will be blocked by other Vikings. So, if this was the case, I couldn't put this Runestone here. On this guy's turn, I couldn't move him past that Viking. Pretty straightforward. What your goal is in the game is that you want to eventually have, and this wouldn't be really advantageous for the Ivory player, but what you want to have a little spot to call your own. And this Viking now would be settled, meaning that doesn't have any more turns. He's got his own little spot of this island to call for a zone. Oh, by the way, the art on this plot of land means nothing. It's just there to look pretty. So don't worry about that. So this guy would score 2 points at the end of the game. Not much. 2 Vikings of opposite colors can't settle. In this case, let me just move these out a little bit. So if this was a situation, these guys would still be moving around on their turn, dropping stones, trying to like carve out a place on this chunk to call their own. However, 2 Vikings of the same color can live in the same spot. So, and these would, but they don't. Excuse me. They don't score the points twice. They only would score it once. So these 2 Vikings together would only score 5 points. Not really optimal. You basically just do that. One person moves, drops a runestone. Another person moves, drops a runestone. Back and forth until basically no Vikings have any valid moves left, and that'll happen organically because in order for like you to like carve out places on the board, so I'm doing very slowly here one by one. When this happens, both of you have settled because like none of you are you both have your own area to live, and you total up the number of points. In this case, obviously, Ivory would win because they just have more. But you total the number of squares, and whoever has the most wins the game. If you somehow manage to score the exact number, same number, it's just a draw. Play again. The game plays in about 10 to 15 minutes, so playing again isn't that big of a deal. So that's that. You can reload or we can meticulously one by one move these back, or you can reload the game with the with the thing.
What, you don't want to meticulously bring them back? Oh, I don't understand, Lance.
Yeah, there you go. So boom, I will step out of I will change teams and go into observer mode. Oh, actually I won't just yet. So we can actually do this. So that's the base game. If you want to make the game a little spicier, you can go into this deck of cards over here, and these are right now. This mod is available on Tabletop Simulator. Anybody who wants to play it can, and you can draw like the Ivory player can grab 2 of these special powers, and then they can then present these to the red player. The red player will pick which one they want to play. So like you want to pick Soul, and then you give Money to the way, and then these particular powers would just come in place. And these are powers that are just going to break the rules in some way. Some of them are really simple. Like Soul here says you may move 1 space with your selected Viking before you move. And Money is at the end of your turn, you may move any one of your Vikings 1 space. So like it's like this is the god of the sun, this is the god of the moon, so you can kind of see that there's a lot of like obviously they're kind of go hand in hand as far as but some of them
Sure.
some of the mythology powers like the goddess of hell here, she has the ability of, instead of normal scoring, you just score points for the number of runestones in play. So I mean, it isn't always going to be and some of the Vikings have instant win powers and things like that.
Well,
so you can kind of mix and match and play like with whatever you want and kind of go head to head with whatever you're feeling. But I mean, like as we suggest to everybody, playing it once just as the base game is usually a really good chance, because it definitely is a game that at first you're like, well, this seems simple. But as you start playing it, you start peeling the onion and you start seeing everything that's there. So
you're saying this game is like an ogre?
Sure, but not. I see. I always thought that, like, well, yeah. I mean, it's like the peeling of the onion is a classic metaphor. So it isn't just Shrek.
But it could be just Shrek.
It could be just Shrek. Did you know that like they got done doing all of the audio, and then Michael Myers decided, hey, I think he should have a Scottish accent, and they went back in and he redid all of his audio again?
I did not know that. That's funny.
And it wasn't cheap. It was like millions of dollars to go back in and redo the whole thing. But
I did not know that. That's amazing.
He had this idea that like, I think I should have a Scottish accent in there.
That's funny.
And then Lance, you will appreciate this one. Obviously, the original inspiration for Shrek was professional wrestler Maurice Tillet known as the French Angel. He was quite ogreish in his look. If you look him up, he is but he was the original
No kidding.
inspiration for Shrek's image.
Well, see, now I gotta go look this up.
Yeah.
Lance is like, I got something to do while y'all playing this game.
Last name is
Yeah.
Tillet.
Oh yes, because he actually so Maurice Tillet actually he actually, if I remember correctly, he was in a few movies just to be like the like a crazy what's the one I'm looking for? Like basically he was in a couple movies just playing like a weird faced bad guy kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I remember, I've seen him before. Yes, and yes, he does look very odd.
But he's only 5'9".
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's not that big. Anyways, back to the game you're here to promote.
It's like you guys are talking wrestling, and I'm just like,
Well, if you get me started on professional wrestling, I will. I'll never stop talking. So.
All right. So you said Ivory goes first.
Yeah.
Yes, Ivory does go first. So just select which one you want to move. Move it as far or as little as you like, and then drop a. There we
go. All right.
I am going to lose this game horribly, but we will.
So you give up right now? A win.
Yeah. No, I tip over all of my characters.
1-0. Chris Farley was supposed to be the voice of Shrek, but passed away before finishing.
Is that right?
That's what Panic says.
Oh, well.
And Panic has never lied to us once.
Did you see that on the Wikipedia Did You Know thing, like the fourth or fifth thing on the Did You Know on Wikipedia today was board game Glory to Rome, despite being well received, led to its publisher's bankruptcy in the mid-2010s and has been out of print since.
Huh.
Oh, trust me, I know.
I own 2 copies of it. I own the cartoon version and I own the deluxe version.
Yeah,
I'm one of the few people that actually got their deluxe version from that Kickstarter.
Yeah,
our friend Victor is a big Glory to Rome fan.
It is permanently in my top 10s. It is a genius game. And I have been there when people have offered the owner of Cambridge Games Factory. I've been there when people have offered him contracts, and he's basically said, you don't have enough money for me to. There's a lot of spite. Yeah. I think there's a lot of spite involved in the decision making.
I really think that's exactly what it is. I think it's more spite than anything at this point.
Yep. And Carl Chuddik has obviously gone ahead and made other games, but I mean, I think he is in one of those rare things where I think Carl Chuddik did design like kind of his magnum opus.
Yeah.
With his first design that theoretically Ed Carter helped design in some way. But you can track down copies. It isn't impossible.
No.
My cartoon version, I actually got at BGG-Con, the last BGG-Con before the pandemic.
Did you place a Runestone, Richmond?
I did. I
did
place a Runestone.
I missed it. I have a totally legitimate copy of.
Yes, there are a lot of people out there that have basically said, look, just go to Arts Cow and here's the files.
Yep.
And I've definitely seen people that have created their own files for it and things like that. So, I mean, it was true story, and we should be talking a little bit about Ragnarocks. I mean, this game is okay. I will talk about Glory to Rome here in just a second. I got a couple of good stories about it, but so Ragnarok's, obviously you guys are already kind of diving into like the deeper strategies here, like noticing that it is sometimes helpful because you're playing very chess-like managements here. Like it is better to sometimes like if you can push somebody on the defensive, right? And like make them react to what you're doing instead of choosing what they want to do. That is a huge benefit for yourself. There's also a huge benefit to using, not only can your Vikings block, not only can you block places with stones, but you can also block things with your Vikings as well, and preventing options to be chosen. So there's things like that where it is obviously, there's not a lot of randomness. There are a few mythology powers that will use some random abilities, like draw a card or whatever, and it'll determine a certain thing or what have you. But for the most part, the game is very deterministic and without any form of like luck or randomness to it. So there's something to be said for that. And I think that's by design. I mean, obviously, the Gordon Hamilton designed Santorini. Santorini is based on the idea that this is a game that can be taught in seconds. You can be sitting down and playing it. I do feel that, I mean, like, this game obviously will, I think, will suffer a bit in such situations where, like, if you have somebody who's played the game a lot, i.e. when I've been playing the designer of the game, like, it can be very difficult to pull off a win. But there are easily ways to rectify that within the game system itself, as far as making adjustments to like, there are certain god powers that mythology powers that will maybe not interact well with others. Like, certain mythology powers definitely will have a leg up to others. If you wanted to play this, like, I've been playing this with my son and my daughter, and when we've been playing it, I've just not been taking a mythology power. So, like, I'm giving them like special powers so they have extra moves and things they can do, whereas I do not have access to those things. So there's ways to even out the difference, if you will,
right.
allow there to be that sort of. Red's kind of in a bad spot right now. I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, there are certain mythology powers, if I remember correctly from playtesting, that, like, if you manage to get all three of your Vikings in the same area, you can, like, double your score and things like that, which I thought was cool.
Gotcha.
Ooh, red. Oh.
I told you from the offset. I was not going to do well in this game. All right, so if these two white are in here together, they only score once, right? It's not really going to matter because I'm going to get blocked in up top here, and I'm going to lock myself in here. Oh boy.
Did Red just give up? Panic asks.
Well, I mean, there are definitely moments where you will have to sometimes just like in chess, you retire, you resign, and you say, okay, you've won that one. Now let's and the beauty, like I said, of the game is that you can play sessions of it in like 15 minutes, and so right. And if you didn't go well, you can step back and you can attack it again. So this would be the end of the game, and so just 3, 7, 10, 13, 16, 18, 21 for red, and then 3, 7, 10, 13, 17, 19, 23, 27, 31, 35, 40, 44 for ivory. So there you go. So let's reset the board, and let me give you a couple of cool mythology powers that I think will be fun for you guys to play with. Just go to games. There you go.
No, I was going to do it the hard way. Oh, yeah. Chat, is our stream chugging, or is it just me?
It looked like it was chugging there for a second.
Chug. Oh, actually, I can't pick because I'm an observer. So I will let you guys pick. So, Ivory, go through the deck.
I give you this. I think try now, Lance.
Yes, I can. All right, so let me just pick out a couple of cool ones.
Yeah,
for
so
you guys
it was
to
almost like
look
double
at.
Panic.
What's Panic? Wait, what's this?
One of the people in chat.
I may be choppy.
That one's fun to play with, and then let's pick. Well, okay. I'm gonna. So since Red did so horrible.
Hey. my performance was not unlike a certain fireworks show at a wrestling event.
Oh my
Sunday.
gosh, that was. I mean, that had to be like a oops, you know. So I'm gonna give Soul is a very, very powerful card because of the maneuverability, and I'm gonna give you a Jormungandr, the Midgard Serpent. This one's cool. If you can with one of your Vikings, if you manage to make a row of 3, it can't be more than 3, it can't be less than 3. You can immediately take another turn with that same Viking.
Okay.
So it's a cool little power, but it's very situational, and you can set up situations where you can just chain it over and over and over again.
Let's
So
look at,
and Soul has the extra maneuverability of allowing your Viking one step to move in one direction and then moving is incredible. It is a very powerful ability. So this is what I was referencing before. You can do a little handicapping, if you will. For
Gotcha.
Again, not. Yeah. I feel like a lot of digs are being sent my way.
It's called Faint Praise. Is what it's called.
Faint Praise.
Yes. Sliver says I don't even watch like wrestling, and even I have seen the memes from that wrestling fireworks ending.
Yeah, no, it was if you've watched if you've watched the classic death matches with Terry Funk and over in Japan with like the true. Oh my gosh! I mean, like when they're throwing themselves into the barbed wire ropes with abandon, you're just like, good heavens!
I watched the Terry Funk Oneida today.
Yeah,
it happened to pop up on somebody's Facebook, and I watched the whole thing.
It is. I mean, that one is. They left it all out there.
They sure did.
All right, so I go first.
You go first, sir. So, like I said, try to set up chains of 3. So, here's a
I considered doing that move at one point, but I understand.
Yeah, no, okay. So my couple of Glory to Rome stories. So, one, like the Kickstarter was so horribly mismanaged. It was just one of those things where as far as like apparently like if truth be told, like Ed Carter like had to like cash in like a lot of one of his 401ks or something just to make it all get figured out. I mean, like there was a couple of stretch goal things that I never got, but that was back when like stretch goals people were like, yeah, sure, let's just do it. Like they never checked to see if it was actually they could make enough money to actually give you what you wanted. So they just like there was a lot of them back then. Like they were like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before they figured out, oh, wait a minute, figure out if we can afford to give this before we do that. But I remember when nobody could find any copies of Glory to Rome, it was just like, it was like, it was like right when it went out of print. And like in Cambridge Games Factory just wasn't making anything. They just weren't really doing anything, but they had the rights. And people were kind of scrambling a bit trying to find it. I was traveling and I was in some podunk town in South Dakota. I don't even know where it was. I think it was Pierre. And I should say not Pierre. Oh my gosh, Aberdeen. I was in Aberdeen, South Dakota. And I happened to be just driving through, and this is before. Now when I go to places and I'm like, I'll very often I will like Google to see if there's any game stores in the place that I'm going to. And I'll see if I can, track down a game store. But anyway, I just saw there was a game store, and I this is like when everybody was saying, it's like this game's out of print and we can't find copies and everything like that. And I walked into this game store. I don't remember what the name was to save my life. And I just walked in, and they had 3 copies of Glory to Rome, the cartoon edition, $20 a piece, just sitting on it. I walked over, bought all three, and I traded them. I mean, I wish I'd held on to them because I could probably have sold each one for, well, I mean, technically, I bought a completely unused, in shrink, still in the clamshell cartoon version. I bought it from a guy at BG for $100 because this guy was genius. He had like this I don't know if you guys ever go to BGG Con, but the flea market they had was that they at the flea market, you just go there and you sell games or whatever.
Right.
And so this guy had. Have you ever been like to a Boy Scout crowdfunder where they have like the thing where it's like walk up, pay $1, and like pull a sucker out of the of the wall, and if it's colored a certain color, you win something. So this guy was doing that, and it was like you walk over there, and it was like $2 for each one, and it was just like and like he had all these different prizes, and the games were wrapped up in wrapping paper, but there were 3 grand prizes, and so it was just like there were 3 grand prizes, and only 2 suckers out of this like 400 or 200 suckers that you draw from. There was only that many winners, right? And so and there were 2 grand prizes, and the 3 grand prizes were a Gloomhaven, a copy of Gloomhaven. For the life of me, I can't remember what the second one was, but the third one was Glory to Rome. It was like a Glory to Rome clamshell cartoon art, in shrink, good to go, right? And so those were like the things, and then like one guy found one of the it had to be like 500 suckers, and nobody else won it. I dropped like I don't know what it was, but he had deals where it's like, oh, give me $20, and it was $2 a piece, but give me 20 and you can have 15, that kind of thing, and so he made bank. I mean, just totally made bank because people were like, yeah, sure, I'll take a shot, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so then the whole thing is that he didn't want he wouldn't let the people choose their prize until right before the flea market closed, because he didn't want somebody to come up there and say, oh yeah, I'll take Gloomhaven, and then and if somebody really wanted Gloomhaven, they're like, well, I'm not going to give you $2 because somebody's like Gloomhaven's got. So he said, come back if you win the prize, and then at the end we'll let you pick, and the first person gets first pick, and so on and so forth. And so I came back at the end to see who won, and only one guy had actually gotten the sucker that had the winner. Of course, I said, let me see the other winner. I was like, there was only one ever, and he actually showed it to me. Like, okay, fine. You weren't a liar. Ooh, look at that! A line of 3. Oh my gosh! Oh my! Why didn't?
Oh, I see. Yeah, if I put it there,
you could, or there, you could have gone again.
And
yeah,
it goes there. And then I move this. Yeah, that works. Wait, you can't stay in the same spot.
You can't stay in the same spot, but you could just move to here.
Yeah, and then block him in this way.
Block him in that way.
That's your home now, Richmond.
Richmond, I gave you soul. This is how you treat me?
I got so focused because I'll tell you. Because I was like, all right, I've got him blocked here. If I can just push him out, I'll pin him in here. I completely forgot that he had a power that allowed him to just be like, oh, let me just drop 3 in a row.
Here's a wall.
No. Well, anyway, in that story, like when I came back, then like he only had the one winner, and then there was a guy there, and he's like, well, will you sell the Glory to Rome? And he's like, well, what are you willing to give me? And he's like, well, would you take 60 for it? And I feel kind of bad about it now when I tell the story, but I mean, he's like, I don't know. And I said, I'll give you $100.
Yeah,
and the guy said, done. And he like, I was like, because one of the rules I've learned when my stepfather's a great salesman. He said, have the cash in your hand when you make the offer. Because if you have the cash in your hand when you make the offer, it is really tough. Because people see that cash, they realize that could very easily be in their hand seconds later. And so I held up $100 bill, and I said, I'll give you $100. And he said, done. And he just took the $100 and handed me the Glory to Rome. And that guy and the other guy was like not happy. But I was just like,
I was gonna say, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Did you make your move, Richmond?
Oh,
well, it's all
oh,
it's
we're still playing.
yeah.
I didn't
Play out
didn't hear the key words that said I concede yet.
Play out the string, as they say.
Now I'm done.
Well, technically,
technically not.
Technically, you haven't. So yeah, there you go. So now you only have one move. So there you go.
What I really should do is just go back as far as possible and then just make my area smaller.
Yeah, just to make it even worse.
There we go.
That'll show them.
Huzzah!
Yeah, so 6 2. Well, these guys can be chummy for the rest of their lives.
For the rest of their lives.
Lance, would you like to play TJ?
Yeah, I can play one. I do have, but I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on. If anybody in the chat has any questions or anything about this or anything else Gray Fox related, happy to answer any questions.
I was looking at Hello Child that is still awake for some reason. You all had another successful Kickstarter not that long ago in Campaign Trail.
Yeah.
How is that going? How is kind of post Campaign Trail Kickstarter going?
It's like I think we're finalizing all the like basically all the layout and all the art's done. It's just we have to do the edit to the rule book, which that's kind of a big rule book because there's a lot of special cards and stuff in there that we have to make sure that like all of it is accurate and correct and everything like that. And so the editing of the rule book and the layout of the rule book is done. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like all of the stuff as far as the production, everything like that, just waiting to hit. We're hitting the button on it really soon. I mean, obviously the other things is both Arcana Rising and For Science ones before that, we got word from our manufacturing plant, Boda in China. They said those will be done in a week. So we're already lining up getting those into containers and everything like that. So we'll be fulfilling those really soon. Obviously, a lot of people are excited and want to have their copies of Tsukiyumi and Tortuga, and those are fulfilling to basically everywhere but US, Canada, and a few rest of world destinations, because all of those games have to come to North America, and because of the container shortage and the shipping shortage, we just haven't been able to get our games on a ship. They're basically sitting in a warehouse in a container, waiting for a ship. But the last time we heard, and I'm crossing my fingers, is that, because I've been told this like 5 times before, that on the 12th, they are going to get loaded onto a ship, and that ship is going to hit the sea this weekend. So, perhaps the long wait for these things is about over. So I'm excited for that. After the Empire, obviously, it was people are really excited about that. They're wondering, hey, it's like, why I want to buy a Kickstarter version because they want the cool little armament and stuff. To anybody who's wondering about that, we are going to be doing a reprint. We haven't decided exactly how that's going to work. At the absolute very least, we're going to do reprints of all the super cool Kickstarter bits. So the army men instead of the cubes, the special cubes. The cubes look really cool. I don't know if you've seen them or not, but I mean the cubes, the Kickstarter version, they're still cube shaped, but they look like little logs and they look like little pieces of stone. And I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. So, those are really cool. I mean, they're going to be really awesome and a lot of fun to play around with. And so, yeah, I'm excited to, so after the Empire is, there's a few stragglers, like some lost shipments and stuff like that. So we're getting some replacements sent out. But I mean, if you back that, you should have your copy at this point. I would be surprised. I mean, if anybody doesn't, and anybody has any questions, you can reach out to me, Lance, at grayfoxgames.com. And you can absolutely do that if you want to. I'm playing. Do you want me to play red, or I'm kind of cheating because I'm playing red and I'm picking the powers.
Oh, you're fine.
So
You know them though. I would just be looking through them constantly.
all right. Well, do you want to play the squirrel that runs back and forth, or do you want to play the fire giant that can drop two runestones next to each other if they're next to him, like so he can create walls?
You may move
easily?
your selected Viking again in the opposite direction to your first move, or surtur. You may summon a normal, or as an okay. Let's do the fire giant. I'll do the fire.
All right.
giant.
I'll play the crazy squirrel.
The crazy.
Yeah. So all right. So here we go. I go first as red player. I'm gonna go here. Take this guy. I'll drop that back there, and then he's gonna run back one space.
That's crazy. All right. So then it's as long as it's adjacent.
You
Okay,
can
so-
drop another. You can drop another runestone.
So I could do like this and go that and like that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
if you want to.
Lance is very good at making it seem as though you are not making the right move.
Crazy squirrel. Crazy squirrel moves forward, drops runestone, moves back slowly.
Okay.
This already feels tense, and I'm not even in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to go. Oh, I definitely see the strategy on that. Okay, there. All right.
All right. Crazy squirrel forward.
Easy squirrel.
Just wave it. I'm gonna
Nope.
sit here and think.
Well,
Hey, my finger's still on it. It's still moving around.
chess rules.
I was like, did it freeze?
I was thinking it too. I was like,
And
what happened? What broke?
there.
Okay. Where'd you put the runestone? Was it that one there?
Right here.
It's very hard to track where the squirrel ends up putting a runestone.
Yeah.
TJ, you're in a tight space down
I
there.
am
Plus
in a
he's
tight
so
space down
cute.
here.
Ratatusker. Squirrel.
So not have to worry right now about.
That's what you say. But yeah.
No, squirrel.
And
And run away, squirrel.
Let's move said squirrel there.
Oh.
Okay.
That's not adjacent to the
No,
stones.
yeah,
that
it's
is
adjacent to that
there you
stone. Yeah.
Like,
Slivers. Pickaxe. Slivers.
Squirrel
Thank you for the bit,
moves.
Slivers.
Squirrel drops. Squirrel will race all the way back here.
Man,
Wait.
Oh.
you can tell Lance has played this a lot.
I have play tested every single one of these mythology powers, and some that will never see the light of day. Just because they were just determined to be kind of game breaking in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So there are a lot of times when you'll be playing the game where, like right now, I know you're going to actually. You know what? I might not do that right now. I might not trap you. I might get him out of there. I'm gonna call Mulligan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see here. Actually, I think if I move him to here. No. Go.
Thanks for the bits, Slivers, also.
The what?
On Twitch.
Slivers in chat give us bits.
Oh, I got you. All this Twitch terminology. I just
Slivers wants to know if all the ones you lost with are not in the game, correct?
Ha! Then that would be all of them. So, I think there's a couple that I never lost with, but they're few and far between. Soul is the only power I've used that I beat Gordon Hamilton with. So I'm kind of I just, and since I'm Owen, oh look at this happy guy dropping stuff.
Panic says Lance is a Facebook streamer. Also a YouTube streamer, does the album, the
I
weekly
do.
album.
I do
That's
the
tonight,
album.
right? Isn't it? Or is it tomorrow?
Wednesday evenings.
Wednesday
Wednesday
evenings.
evenings.
It listed up so long ago. I had a hard time remembering which night we did it on.
It's fair.
Yeah, we do game shows every once in a while there, but what we do mostly is we do before and after stuff, which I'll explain before and after here in just a minute. But we also do initials, which was something that you guys should do initials. You'd love initials. Basically, you have with your crowd of people that you're playing, you come up with like 10, 12, 15 different things that have the same initials, whether the people, place, things, whatever. And then you give 5 clues to try to tell people, and then they ring in with their name and guess what it is. So like, and like, so if it's like, say your initials are HF, you could say was building George Lucas's deck when he read for his most famous part, and people go, who Harrison Ford, because HF was Harrison Ford. So like, but you'd have more in-depth things where it's like was born in so and so, like, and then give more and more vague, and then as you get closer, you start pinpointing. But people, if they know the initials, they can think, okay, what has these initials?
The only can I tell you the only HF that I could come up with immediately was Harvey Firestein.
No, there you go, perfect. But see, you're already learning how to play that game, though. Is it my turn, or did you go?
That would be my wheelhouse.
I think it's me. Sorry.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you dropped a runestone. It's, like I said, hard to track the squirrel.
Yeah, it is hard to track the squirrel. But no, the before and after is fun because like it's like the classic Jeopardy before and after what's I'm looking for here? Category, or the classic Jeopardy, it was let me think of one here. Like you have to come up with like a sentence that kind of lets you so like 2 things and they share the middle. So like you could say, if I took Harrison Ford, I could say Han Solo is a bad movie with Andrew Dice Clay. And you'd say Harrison Ford Fairlane. Yeah. And so, but before and after is fun. It's because you get people to like, start thinking about it. It's fun. It's fun to find the connections.
Yeah, you don't want to know the before and after that I just came up with in my head.
Okay.
Because it's I don't know if it's embarrassing, but for some reason I was coming up with like words that I could go front and back of, and ended up with the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Oh,
I was gonna actually. Yeah. I'll leave it there. I was monkeying with an idea, but I decided against it. Ryan, I got your Divine Sisterhood of Pants. Yeah. I remember seeing the name of that movie. I was like, what the heck is this? It sounded really weird. All right. So what are you doing now? All right. Let's go here. And I will not move my guy backwards.
Okay.
What are you doing? The first one's got to be close. The first one's got to be close to you. There you go. There you go. Oh, TJ. Tisk.
Oh man. TJ, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
We're in a tight spot.
Did you not move back?
No, he's gonna stay right there, so he can block. He can block your movement
right there. There's no way he's moving. Yeah, you're. I mean, I don't know that you had another move, but
no.
Yeah,
that's squirrel.
You're sunk, bud.
That's squirrel.
He's highly mobile.
It's around.
We'll zoom all the way over here. Then we'll drop this. And then we'll zoom all the way
back. TJ.
Yeah.
I don't know that
as you willingly eat up a point for me. Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
I mean, I had to eat up a point no matter what, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
and then we'll drop that down. So let's see, 2, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, 17, 19, 21 to more. Just leave it.
Why?
And notice how there's 2 wild areas here, like right here and right here.
27? 28?
27. Yeah, 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
closer than I thought it
notice
would be.
this. I can't. Yeah. I mean, he carved out some chunks. He rallied really well. But no, there's
22 to
2 wild
27.
areas here. There are some mythology powers that like get to claim the points of any wild areas that are made. Which is kind of cool. Like as far as like that. But yeah, there's like tons of different powers, tons of different things that you can do. Like I said, there are game end winning conditions. There is, let me find him. Where's Odin? So here's Odin. Odin has the distinction of, like, you'll notice how Ratatasker's got this little thing on the bottom of that little Odin beard, Odin guy in the bottom. Odin has the ability of, he has like, you get to select 2 other Odin cards for the deck, and like he kind of like gets to have multiple different powers and some variability because he is obviously the lord of the Norse mythology. So like there's stuff like that. I already showed you Hell, which has a different ending situation. There's one of my favorites also, the Battle Pig, Hildisvini. And Hildisvini gets to run at people and shove them one space and then take over the spot.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, and then I played one with Gordon today, and this is a very good one. Let me find the Norse cow, Adumbla. Adumbla in Norse mythology is the she licked the Bifrost. So Ymir, the frost giant, survived by drinking her milk, but then she licked the Bifrost off of Odin and his 2 brothers and freed them from the ice, and so she is considered to be the mother of Odin and his 2 brothers. And Adumbla has an amazing ability where you can basically eat a runestone that's next to you and then move into that spot and then deposit a runestone behind you, I guess.
That's cool.
It out. Yeah, so Adumbla is really tough to pin anybody down. Because you're always able to like kind of get through one. The biggest thing with that is that you can't ever let your Vikings get surrounded by, because once you don't have any moves left because you've settled, you can't do anything else. So you got to try to. So there's tons of cool stuff like that. There's tons of cool little mythology powers. $45 plus shipping gets you all of the Kickstarter exclusive stuff. The Runestones if you go to the web page for the Kickstarter, the Runestones are special Kickstarter exclusive that have, instead of just being all gray, the middle stone that's sticking up is a translucent blue. So it'll definitely look cool on the board. There's a bunch of Kickstarter exclusive cards that are only going to be located in the Kickstarter edition. There's also an expansion for it for $12. You can get the Chaos expansion, which adds some more pieces to the board, as far as some mountain pieces that are like that you'll be actually build mountains on the board. Certain powers will have that ability. And that's also got a bunch of exclusive cards in it as well. It just, like I said, this has been people really adored Santorini. They've been waiting for more stuff from Gordon, and he's definitely made a fantastic game. I mean, I'm not a abstract guy. I'm usually like, oh, cool, can I move faceless blobs on a board and try to beat you? I mean, like, I need something. But Gordon he calls this a thematic abstract, and I think that's fair. Santorini is the same way. It's abstract, but it's got enough meat on the bone that you can actually sink your teeth into it, and you can kind of enjoy that. And the way he created this is that it was actually based off of like, I was asking him, where'd you come up with the idea, and he was basing it off of the Icelandic method of how the early settlers of Iceland were like they weren't really trying hard to preserve what little land they had. And so he was always like the idea that people were like wasting like the area by like harvesting it and not engaging in good processes to maintain their civilization there. And so like this idea is that his basic idea was that you're dropping these stones and you're wasting the space. In an attempt of finding a place to live, you're actually making less of a place for yourself to live. And that's kind of like what he was going off of. And I was like, that's actually really cool. But we're going to call it Summoning Runestones and have battle pigs.
I like it. I like it a lot.
But if you look at some of the early prototype stuff, and it was on, if you played any of the stuff we were doing when we were playtesting it, and we opened up a playtest. It was an open playtest for people to. They referenced a lot of when you take a waste action. There was a lot of that still preserved in the rules, and we had to obviously go back and make it a summoning thing. But yeah, no, so it's a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys having me on to show it off.
Yeah, absolutely. I like you said that you're not necessarily a abstract strategy guy. I obviously am not an abstract strategy guy, but there are, I mean, in this deck alone, how many cards will there be?
There are 33 cards that we've revealed at this point.
Okay.
And there's more in the expansion. We have not put the expansion cards yet into the Tabletop Simulator mod. But you can so there's 33 right now. Actually more that were in Santorini when Santorini was first published. And then we are actually going, and when we're still revealing war before the end of the campaign. And plus, like I said, I think, don't quote me on this, I think it's another 9 powers in the mythology expansion, or in the chaos expansion. So, I mean, you're going to be looking at, I think, 50 some odd, if you get the expansion plus the base game. You're going to be looking at 50 some different mythology powers that you're going to be able to play with.
Well, as someone who's not an abstract strategy guy, the idea that I can play someone with 50 some odd different powers, so the game is different every time, it brings me back, because it gives me hope that with one of those powers,
you've got
I will be successful. But like every card that you've pulled out so far, thematically it makes sense, but it also just makes me want to like just dive into it and just
just sit there and go, how can I use that? Like you showed the pig, and I was like, well, that fixes the issue of somebody blocking that last little corner. Pig just runs in, and then it opens up.
You can shove them back one space and then take over that spot. So pig's fun. And go ahead.
I was just saying, well, and how you use the squirrel too. I mean, if you can cover up an exit, if you can put a stone somewhere, a runestone somewhere, and then block the other exit for someone to get out of, that's just, it's I don't know. It is very clean and very obviously well thought out. And I, while I am not good at it, I am in awe of just how well it's put together. So.
Oh yeah, I definitely I have like 2 or 3 board game designs that are in different method that I've been working on for years, right? And with different designers that we've come up with ideas, and like I'm always just baffled by game designers that are able to like put something together like this that's as polished as this, because I know I can't.
Panic Games in chat wants to know, where's the Richmond Wins card?
They haven't revealed it yet.
That's the flip button up top here for you.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just poke that button and just flip the table.
Yeah, and then just walk away. Drop the microphone.
I think it's because I'm not. It's because I'm not seated. It won't even let me flip the table.
Oh, what a! I will say this, TJ. It's like because your camera has the fuzziness behind you, it looks like you're in a green screen.
Oh.
No, it looks like your background isn't a real. You're not a real room. You're just.
Oh no, it's not. I can literally push this over. See, I'm touching it. I'm touching it right there. Can't you hear it?
Void.
Live live from my studio and live from my kill room in the basement of my murder hotel.
I feel like people say that to you too sometimes, Lance. Is that?
Oh yeah. If so, I have So this is my desk, and then over here is where I paint my miniatures, and over here is where my airbrush stuff is. And back there, you can see a giant pile of books, and that's where I do you can see my tripods back there and stuff like that. So you can see that's where I do my filming when I do videos, which I don't do as often as I used to because I'm just so busy. But those are all RPG books that I had to like dig out, and I'm trying to go through because I'm just getting rid of a bunch of stuff because I have too much stuff. But anyway, but I have two very bright. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Well, actually, my eyes are fine. It's my hands, But anyway, well, no, I got LASIK, so my eyes are perfect now. But I have two very bright LED lights, and so if I shine them just perfectly, and no other lights are on in the room, it does look like I'll get the same effect that you're getting right now. The whole like live from my kill room.
Sliver said, "My life is basically a green screen for any scene," and Panic says, "I'm not actually real." So,
well,
TJ's not real. He's just
no.
He's a
I'm a
program
figment of everyone in the chat's imagination right now.
There you go. You gotta let it feels weird that like we all got beards, and it's like this is lazy, and then TJ's late. This is laziest, lazier, and just lazy, I guess. Is where it goes.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was funny. I've had long hair forever, and I like just had my hair down the other day when I went to a post office. I ran to somebody I hadn't seen with my game group for like a year since the pandemic, and he's like, "Dude, you let your hair grow out." I was like, "Dude, I've had long hair since I was 18." It's like I never noticed. I was like, "I've known you for 20 years. What are you talking about?"
Don't put noticing things as a resume skill.
But all right. Well, guys, I appreciate you having me on very much. So it means a lot. And you should I'll keep you in mind. I mean, if you guys ever need anything, like as far as a review copy or something,
we appreciate it.
We will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for you guys to cover After the Empire if you own it or don't own it or something. Yes, no, maybe.
I do not own it.
No, I don't own it.
All right. Well, give me an address and I'll get you guys a copy. So
sounds good.
Well, I mean, I suppose I'll have to send two though, because neither of you don't. I mean, can you do the thing where you hand your hat, through the other person reaches out and grabs it and puts it on?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just a blue peg, pink peg, pint glass instead.
Yeah.
Same one.
I have a Brawling Brothers
rocks glass.
Yeah, like a whiskey.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Do you have the one with the man bear pig, or do you just have the other one?
Just says Brawling Brothers on it.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah.
Brandon gave me the not cool one.
Well, here, hold on. I paid for mine, so I mean,
I did too.
Here, this is, and then I gotta go. Then I gotta go. Okay. But as far as drinking stuff, this is easily like it's gonna be backwards, but it's gamesurplus.com and Spiel over Spielen, which nice. Players over gamers over games, like so. But gamesurplus.com, when it was run by a guy named Thor, was like the best place as far as online game stores. It was the absolute best place to buy. And if you bought enough stuff from him, eventually he would send you a mug. And I remember when the mug. I was like the last shipment. I ordered some stuff from him, and I remember I sent him an email and I said, "Dude, I've been ordering stuff from you for like 4 years, and you're shutting down soon. I need a mug." And he's like, I have one left. But he sent it to
yours.
Me. I was so happy.
It feels like that mug is also a cry for help if they know you well enough. If you spend enough money and they know you well enough to send you a mug.
Well, and then the other thing is that it's like that mug. I mean, it's not the same color, but if you go into Board Game Geek, they have an excellent mug. Board Game Geek that has Board Game Geek on the side. I mean, not that I'm trying to plug anything here, but Scott Alden purposely tried to emulate because that mug is just perfect. It's perfect size. It's like, I mean, it's just everything. And so if you go to boardgamegeek.com and I think they're like $12, but they're fantastic mugs. I have so
can never have too many coffee mugs.
No, you really can't.
I don't drink coffee. I drink whiskey out of mine. But
I mean, I may do that after we say goodbye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've kept you guys yakking for too long.
Man. We're glad you came. We're glad we finally hooked up and
got everything going.
All settled,
I had a blast playing Ragnarocks. That was fun. I love Santorini, so I love this.
I was like half dozing on my couch, and I was like, there was something I was supposed to do today. and then I sent one, and I reached up, and I was like, there's a little mantle up above the couch, and I was like, I'm gonna look at my phone for a second, and I was just like, oh yeah, just like, came racing down here.
No,
but
it's okay. It's okay. I'd leave TJ hanging all the time. It's about 7:55 before an 8 o'clock stream, and I still haven't even logged on yet. So
yeah, I'm used to it.
He's used to me. So
hey, if you guys ever want to come on Wednesday nights, just let me know. Just shoot me a Facebook message, and you can come on and do the gab.
Cool. Yeah,
I'd love to have you on.
We're usually finishing up. We're usually finishing up around kind of in the middle of when you're going. So
yeah.
Oh really? So you're finishing up around like midnight, because that's usually around the middle of where we're going.
We did last.
Oh,
week,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine then. You win.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a joke. But all right.
So appreciate Lance.
No, I appreciate you guys. Go back Ragnarocks.
Yeah.
If you haven't backed it, go back Ragnarocks. If you backed it, go back it again.
We've put the
unback it, then back it again.
Chat.
Or back it.
No. You create another account. You go in
and back it.
Steal your neighbor's credit card info. And then I am not saying I'm not okaying.
I'm not kidding. This is all a green screen and a projection.
I'm gonna push down my green screen and just run away.
So we've put the link in chat. So if anybody wants to go check out Ragnarocks, go do it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming on, Lance. We really appreciate it, bud.
Happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Bye, Lance.
Bye, Lance.